Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning. We have a minute until the red folder news. Let me record this quick. Hold on. All right, so we're recording. So we're gonna wait for the news. Let's look at the chart real quick. So again, guys, today is a real trading day. Give me 1 second, guys. Again, I have to speak a little bit quiet because there are people sleeping. So yesterday we traded above the daily fair value gap, which gives me this feeling that we could easily trade below it. Now, we could easily trade higher. If we look at the daily, we do have a volume imbalance up here, and we have a volume imbalance here that we already retested, but we still have a new week opening gap above. So let's see if we get. This is a very small move for GDP, like super small. This is also a data candle here, by the way, guys. This wick here is the 8:15 news. So there was 2 sets of red folder news. So if we mark this as the data high, right now it's the only data high that we have. So just letting you guys know that. All right. Yo, good morning, Bob. How are you, bro? Let me just go onto Twitter quick and let people know, onto X, that I'm live. Okay, we'll go on YouTube quick. Um, okay, guys, so we also have some equal highs here. Just a forewarning, I'm looking at a lot of different charts right now, but this can easily be a target for the day. Always mark these out, guys. It's very important. We also have a data high here. And no real big moves from the GDP move at 8:30, which I find very interesting. I don't see any good inverses here. We do have this 1 minute right here that we could potentially use for longs. Whoa. So keep this in mind on your charts. I do like this. So if we break structure to the upside and close above, I think that's a decent target to data highs. And then I would take a partial here, move your stop to break even, and then hold for these equal highs. Definitely a possibility. Now, one thing to note, again, guys, we have officially rebalanced the daily. Hold on, I'm moving this around. We have rebalanced the daily, so we could definitely go lower here. I'm gonna take this off. Hold on, guys. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in for sure. Okay, so guys, if we inverse this 1 minute, I am going to take this long on a real account. Again, I don't have that up here, but you will see, I'll put it up on, I don't have any evals right now, but I will pull this up on paper for you guys. If we inverse this one, I will be taking this long on a live account. Okay, so just wait for the 1 minute close above this fair value gap, and that's where the long will be taken. I'll be taking it with 4 micro contracts on a funded, 50K funded, and then obviously my cash account will be a lot more than that. Okay, so we did get the close below, so now your stop loss will be a close back below this 1. But I'm going to leave the stop here to protect these order blocks. Okay, so we need to close back above to make this a 1 minute. I don't like that we closed back below it already, so that's kind of suspect to me. But this is a trade, so. Let me just look at the 2 minute quick. Nothing on the 2. 3 doesn't look so clean. Yeah, guys, this is probably going to be a stop out trade. Because we closed above on the 1 minute, we closed back below. We did take out this internal buy side, but we should at least target this high right here. Yo, what's up, Course? Good morning, bro. We're in this live, by the way. Target will be data highs. Basically, what's going to happen here is if we close back above, I'm going to move my stop to break even or down to this internal low because I don't want to see us close back below the 1 minute again. Yep, it's red folder news. Yeah, and interestingly, GDP didn't move us that much. I thought that this candle would be a lot bigger, but this, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen. I thought that this 8:30 candle would move us a lot more, but it didn't. This is the data candle that we're really looking for now. I don't like that we closed back below the 1 minute, but once we move above this, making it a potential order block, then I will move my stop down to this low right here. Also, something that could potentially hold up price is that this is the top of the daily fair value gap, so just keep in mind that, guys. Okay, so again, once this order block gets created, we will move our stop down to this low right here. Because I don't want to see us come back down a second time. I want to just see us move here. What we'll do is take a partial at this internal high right here. So let me change this. Again, just because you guys are not seeing a live account on the screen does not mean I'm not in this. And yeah, I will be honest, this is a live account trade. So 5 is going to be sold at this internal high, and 5 is going to be sold at this buy side. You know what, I'm going to sell 3 here, and I will leave 2 for these equal highs. How about that? Oh, whoops, I just sold 2 accidentally. My bad, guys. So I accidentally sold 2 right here, but that's okay. We're going to leave 3 for this high, 3 for this high, and then 2 for the equal highs above. Are you in this course? I mean, technically it invalidated itself, right? Because we got to close back below the 1 minute, but I stayed in because I was allowing for this potential fair value gap to get traded into and this order block. We still did not close above. We just formed another set of equal highs here, guys, by the way. So hopefully, I mean, what will happen here potentially is we get another drop down into this fair value gap and then an inverse. That's possible. So if we get another inverse here, guys, I think that would be a decent trade to take as well. Sorry, I keep looking at the wrong screen. If we get another inverse 1 here, that's a decent trade. And then your stop to break even will be the equal highs, right? And then your take profit will be at this internal buy side and this internal buy side. But I may get stopped out on this trade, and that's okay. Okay, so that was a stop out. And again, guys, the reason that wasn't the best trade was because we did form this 1 minute inverse. We closed back below it, and then we closed above it. So we closed above it, below it, and then above it, and then below it. So not great. Now we did form this 1 minute fair value gap now, and if this gets closed above, we do have a set of equal highs here on NQ. We have a data high, and we have another set of equal highs up here. So that could be good, but I don't like that this just happened. It tells me we're probably going to go down here to this internal low because we just inversed all these bullish PD arrays. But let's see if we even get a fair value gap here. Yeah, so that sucks. You know, losing a trade sucks, but I think that's the first 830 trade that I've lost on a real account in, I don't know, six 830 red folder new setups. So if this 1 minute inverse gets inversed above, that's a good long in my opinion too. And again, guys, today is a cash and funded account day. It's not just a eval account day or paper account. What is this fair value gap right here? What is this draw on my chart for? Okay, I'm gonna remove these guys. But yeah, so far this does not really look good for longs, unfortunately, but we'll see what we get, right? So again, we have equal highs here now. Internal highs, daily fair value gap, high, data high, equal highs. So I definitely see a possibility of these getting taken, but just keep in mind we also did just rebalance a daily fair value gap yesterday, so we could easily have retracements. And that might be why the longs are not working currently. Anybody in a trade this morning? Or anybody looking for a long? Or are you guys looking for more shorts? What do you see? Because right now, I am telling you right now, I am indifferent. I think that most of there is this very tiny 1 minute on, I keep looking at the wrong screen. Sorry, guys. Because I'm looking at my live account at the same time that I'm trying to trade with you guys. There is this really tiny 1 minute here in the London session right above the equal highs that I think could possibly be traded into today. Oh, it's not even that big. It's tiny. On MNQ, it's a little bigger than this, but it's very, very small, and it's right above the equal highs. So that's a potential setup. Let me look at the 15 quick and see if there's any fair value gaps to balance. No, the hourly, not any fair value gaps until here and down here. This is also where the order block is formed, over here. Yeah, so I'm not really liking this area, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Because we're right at a new week opening gap. we're right at a fair value gaps high. So there's not really a lot of support for the market. This is in theory resistance. So you have to be careful. We're also trading in a new day opening gap. So another forewarning for you guys. No trade for cores, huh? This is the time to take trades, but again, this setup is not great. It really is not great. Please enter the right date. What does that mean? Today's the 30th, isn't it? So yeah, guys, I think we're probably going to go to this low now, just because we inversed all of this, but we didn't take any buy side and we left equal highs. So I think we're going to this low. We didn't take these equal highs and we left buy side, so I can't short this. But I also can't long this right now because we have no setup. So if we sweep this liquidity, guys, right here, and then we inverse this 1 minute, I think that will be a good setup. Stop to break even immediately, and then your take profit would be, I would take a partial at this internal high, and then I'd leave runners to this data high. Okay, so pretty bullish reaction there. Pretty bullish reaction here. Maybe we get a trade back into the 1 and then inverse it. We'll have to see what we get here. So guys, watch for a rebalance of this 1 minute. So if you guys want a little scalp here, this is probably not that bad. But there's no setup, right? But we're probably going to balance this 1, so. Oof. Damn. So we didn't even get the rebalance of the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This does not look bullish on the day. Not at all. We completely rebalanced the daily. We're rejecting, forming equal highs here, but these could easily just get taken out much later on. We have this hourly fair value gap that needs to be rebalanced here. Wouldn't be surprised if this gets hit today. Excuse me. We also have the top of a 4 hour here. We're inversing this. This definitely looks like we're coming down to here. Can you guys see this 4 hour? if you look at this chart right now, right, we balance the daily. What is next to happen? Probably to go back to this order block and the top of this 4 hour at minimum, right? This 4 hour fair value gap extends all the way down here. So it's very likely now that we trade down into this 4 hour. Now we're not getting a setup there, obviously. I mean, this was the setup, this 1 minute, but I was too blinded by these equal highs to try and take that. And again, that's just part of my model. I don't short when there's equal highs above. I don't short when there's data highs above. Maybe we get a bounce out of this 4 hour to then take this out. I don't know. But based on what I'm seeing structure-wise here, this does not look bullish. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It definitely does not look bullish. I'm looking to add back into this riot position. I'm sorry, not add back in. I'm looking to add more to this riot position. I'm very tired. But this 4 hour looks like it's going to get balanced on NQ. And again, guys, I'm whispering because I have people that are sleeping in this house right now. And the walls are pretty thin. So again, I can't take any longs here, guys. There's nothing. That minimum, I'd wait for this hourly to get hit here. We do have some order blocks here, so I mean, those could be where we bounce from, but this doesn't look AA plus to me, if I'm gonna be honest here. This 1 minute, it's not obvious enough. It's too small. And when I see this structure here, like this to me, I mean, I know these are equal highs, but this to me just looks like a rejection pattern. Like we came up, we took out all this daily fair value gap, we generated liquidity up here, we rebalanced it, formed equal highs, and then we're dumping. Like it to me, it just looks like bearish structure, like a sell model. We didn't balance this 5, to be fair. Let me look at the 15 quick. We didn't even balance this 15 minute, which is right up here. So to be fair, we could come up here first before dumping, but this just looks sell model-y to me. It looks very sell model-y. Now, if you guys want to try something, I mean, you could try this 1 minute, but to me, this doesn't look obvious enough. We did just form another, did we form another set of equal highs here? We did. That's crazy. I just don't like this market structure. But if we inverse this 1, in theory, we should go higher. But we're not sweeping any obvious liquidity to me. I guess we are. So we did sweep this, guys. So we did sweep these equal lows, or this sell side liquidity, and we are inversing a 1. So in theory, actually, you could try this up to this internal buy side. Doesn't look bad. So guys, this is actually not bad, and you could scalp up to this internal high right here. I don't think that's terrible, because we did sweep this liquidity. That's the only reason. And then leave some runners up to these equal highs. Okay, so your stop to break even should be here, or your take profit at these internal highs right here. It's the only thing I would allow for. Okay, so we're rejecting it right before the internal high, but I do still think it should balance. We'll see what we get. So again, guys, I want to see a potential bounce from here. Maybe we get it. I don't know yet. And then the continuation up to this internal high. Because we did sweep this liquidity, so I want to see it bounce out of here up to here. That is not good, guys. This just tells me that we are ultra bearish because this should have balanced. And that is what it is, but yeah. Sorry, my alarm is going off. Yeah, all these PD arrays are failing after sweeping liquidity. There was not even a chance to move your stop to break even here, so that is not good for longs. Again, guys, I think this 4 hour will be rebalanced. It just looks too bearish. So wait for the 4 hour to get balanced, and then maybe we'll get a long from there. I'm not sure yet. See if we can get an immediate dump here. So wait to see this 4 hour here, guys. And then maybe this woman, it gives us the long. I don't think this is bad either. Because we're sweeping sell side, we're sweeping a sell side that took sell side, and we're balancing a 4. That's not a bad long. Stop is somewhat big, and you could take profit at these equal highs, secondary profit at these equal highs. I don't think that's a bad setup. I'm just shifting my computer here. Okay, so there's the 4 hour gap. Now, hopefully we see a strong bounce from here, but if we don't, then we're just going to be continuing to rebalance the 4 hour. Maybe we even go to the mean threshold of it, which is, if we draw it out, this is the mean threshold. Put it in purple so you can see it. We'll make it a 3-point font so it's a little bigger. I'll make it 2. I don't really like the 3. But yeah, we'd want to see an immediate rebalance from here. We don't want to see it go further if we are actually bullish on the day, which I don't think we are at this point. And I'll be honest, I've tried 2 longs and both of them failed. We failed to hit the internal high on NQ on the 1 minute. Right, we failed to rebalance this 1 minute, which should have, in theory, balanced, and it didn't. So that is not a good sign. This 1 minute inverse that I took initially here, honestly should have been closed once we closed below the 1 minute, but I was allowing for a rebalance of this 1 minute. And once this died, that was it. We knew it wasn't a good setup. But yeah, guys, if I had to guess, I think today is going to be a short day. And I think everyone that's trying to chase these equal highs is going to get smoked. Jeez. You guys see that? What a dump. Yeah, guys, this is definitely bearish. I'm just trying to look for some targets here. I mean, now we are in this hourly, so, I mean, there is a small possibility we bounce out of here. But I just think, based on the fact we balanced the daily yesterday, and then we're forming, I do like that we form these equal highs because I know that later on we can target them, right? So when we want to do a QQQ swing, if we get a really, really big dump, we can target these for a swing trade and just hold it knowing that eventually they're going to hit. So that's a possibility, and I will call swing trades out in the community. But this does not look good. We have 3 sets of equal highs now. If you notice these tiny ones here, obviously. But we could bounce out of the hourly here, but I just have a feeling that we are going to go lower, probably to the mean threshold of the 4-hour, which is right here. This is the mean threshold of the daily. So I won't get rid of it, but I think we could probably trade down into this hourly as well. I think the days can easily be a sell day. Now again, there's no setup right now, but just know that that definitely can be the case here. if we inverse this 1 minute, guys, that is the only setup I will take in a live account right now. Stop to break even at this internal high. I would take a partial in this 1 minute and then leave runners to these two sets of equal highs and the data high. Because if we inverse this one, I know market structure is shifted and that we will take out stops. But if we never get a structure shift above this 1 minute, we could easily just sell off all day. This hourly is the support, right? The support that's holding up the market right now. If we inverse this 1 minute, you could even try the long. But I would just wait for this 1 minute to inverse, and then I would take it up to these equal highs. Also, remember there's a new day opening gap here. If I remove it, which I will for today's explanation, you'll see that the high of the daily fair value gap is here. So we could come back and test the high and then dump. There's so many different options here. So yeah, I actually do think this long is not half bad. It's a lower risk long, stop to break even at this internal high. And then I would just leave it. I mean, you want to take a partial, you can. But I don't think this is bad up to this internal high. But again, we need to wait for the close first, which is in 10 seconds. So we did not get a close, or did we get a close above? Is this a close above, guys? No, it's at the candle, so I can't take this. Right, if you look at the close, 26.6550, and the body of this candle, whoops, sorry guys. The body of this candle closed at 26, so it closed exactly at the fair value gap. Now I still do think this works after this internal high, but I can't take it. It's not part of my model, unfortunately. We also have a 2 minute that is about to close above both of these. So that's pretty bullish up to this internal high, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we just got the 2 minute close. So at least we're going up to this high, guys. Say that with a very high degree of certainty. If we don't, that's super suspect. Because again, we're coming out of an hourly and we inverse 2 bearish PD arrays, we should come up into this internal high. So we have to see a bullish reaction here. This is like wow, we haven't even, market hasn't even opened yet. That's crazy. So again, we need to see bullish candles here up to this high. We should get it, but if it doesn't, that's just another terrible sign that the market is extremely bearish. But it should, because again, we inverse 2 bearish PD arrays, and we have an internal high here where stops are. Yeah, that should have delivered there. We should not just be rejecting here. Not optimal for sure. Okay, we should deliver now. I mean, if it doesn't deliver on the next couple candles on the 1 minute, I'm zoomed in on a shorter time frame on another chart, but it really should deliver here, guys. Taking a scalp buy. Course, did you just type that? I'm sorry, I'm not really looking at the chat right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this 2 minute needs to be holding up price. That's the thing. And the fact that it's not delivering up is concerning, that it's just kind of stalling here. I prefer that it happens before market open. But it's just like teeter-tottering. It's not delivering. And I mean, it should. Again, guys, this is an hourly fair value gap, two 2-minute inverses, and an internal buy side. Like there's no reason for it not to deliver. So if this doesn't deliver, I don't think I'll be taking any trades for the day after those 2 L's. Because again, guys, part of my model, I don't like to take more than 2 L's. One of my L's was really small, so I'll allow for one more trade. But if this fails, then I'm done, because this just tells me that price action is just really, really, really bad. So the only thing I'll allow for maybe is a sweep of this internal low and then continuation, but we should balance this 2 minute. If we don't, it's a really bad sign. So this candle needs to be what delivers us up here. So if we zoom into the 1, guys, I was saying I would allow for this 1 minute sweep to continue up to this internal buy side, but yeah, I don't like this. This is the final chance here. If it doesn't go up on the next few green candles, then it's not going to go up in my opinion until later. So be very cautious if you're trying to long scalp this. Yeah, guys, I do not like this at all. Ugh. We have 10 minutes until market open. Also, if we zoom into the 1, so the reason this probably is failing here is because we technically did balance the 1 minute fair value gap. I was just looking at the 2 and expecting this to balance, and it doesn't have to because the 1 did. So I will be done, guys, if this trade fails. The market is not delivering how I wanted it to. Again, I do still think, I mean, we could potentially be bullish today, but this is just telling me that we're just going down to balance all the 4-hour gaps and hourly gaps. All right, guys, so that trade got stopped out and I'm done for the day. I'll sit on the computer just to call out the rest of the market, but it's not delivering how I want it to. And that is a sign for me to step away. Yeah, this 2 minute, the fact that we traded into an hourly fair value gap and we inversed 2 2-minute fair value gaps, this definitely should have taken us up to this internal buy side / fair value gap. So the fact that this didn't work tells me that the market is not going to go into my favor today. Look at this, guys. Bitcoin just almost touched these equal the high of ever. I think that was all-time high, and we just swept it. We just almost hit it, and then we missed it by a tick or a few $100. So the fact that we just inversed this too tells me we're probably going back down to the lows, the low of day. Oh, you got stopped out too, Cores? That's all right, bro. It's part of the game. No, I wouldn't be surprised now if we get it here, but again, guys, I can't take any more. Again, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get it here, but again, we inverse this 1 minute. We're bearish on the day. I wouldn't be surprised if we take out lows again. Because like even on the 1, we inverse this 1 minute, we should have come up to this internal high. Again, it's tricky because we already balanced the 1 right here. But yeah, that's so unfortunate. This is the type of PA that does not happen on good trading days. Or if we're wrong about the bias, obviously, then we just dump. And again, guys, market opens in 5 minutes, so keep that in mind. Oh, and we did balance the 3. I didn't even see that. Dang. Sucks. If we get it now, it's going to be upsetting, but what does a 5 minute look like? Yes, we also rebalanced the 5. Man, that sucks. Ugh. SMCI got slapped. Let's see. Oh, good morning, Binoj, by the way. Sorry I didn't see your name. SMCI got slapped. Oh, $33? That's crazy. Wow. That is unbelievable. With all these companies thinking when maintaining their books, companies like Ernst & Young involved. Crazy. Yeah, guys, so on NQ, sadly, it looks like I missed the trade, but it looks like we're probably going to go up to these sets of equal highs here, and then probably this buy side here. And the market opens in 3 minutes, by the way, guys. So look for this internal high to get touched here. And earnings are aftermarket, such manipulation. Oh, SNCI did not report earnings yet. It's aftermarket. So guys, again, no delivery. Inverse to fair value gap. We should have hit these internal highs. Now we're rejecting. This is all manipulative moves, and we're probably just super bearish on the day. No bullish PDA arrays are working, so that should be a sign to you that the market is probably going to dump. But I want to see how the market behaves at open. But yeah, this tells me that we're probably pretty darn bearish on the day. Wait, so Binoj, SMCI earnings are after hours? This was just news about Ernst & Young? Is that what you're saying? I'm kind of confused. Accountant resigning. That is crazy. Yeah, that's not a red flag at all. I mean, it could be for a lot of reasons, but it sounds kind of suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. That's for sure. Okay, guys, market just opened. Let's see what we get. SMCI's down 29%, bro. This company's gonna crash. It's over. It's literally over. That is crazy, guys. By the way, my biggest gamble earnings, my biggest gamble play, which is at SMCI. I mean, sorry guys, I'm not thinking. Which is Riot, has earnings after hours today. Just a heads up. Yeah, guys, I'm not touching this BA. Not anymore. It could go without me. It is what it is. Um, to me, it looks like the market is probably going to go down to the mean threshold of this 4-hour gap at minimum. On the hourly, we are bouncing from this hourly fair value gap, but I think we'll probably go down to this one if I had to guess. So that would be down here at 20,570. That's probably my target for the day. I think all these equal highs will get kept because we're not delivering to them. So yeah. I think this just dumps here. Yeah, price is not behaving well. This is not good PA. But again, just based on the models I've seen happen in the past, the fact we're leaving all these equal highs, we're not delivering to them. Here we should have delivered, we didn't. This tells me that we're continuing to be bearish. Again, we did come down to balance this hourly, but I think we go further down. Probably all the way down to here, if I had to guess. Oh, nice. C3 AI, my swing is doing well. But yeah, this tells me that we're probably going to deliver down to the mean threshold of the 4-hour, and then the the 1 hour fair value gap here. And again, guys, I am done trading today. I took 2 losses, which is very unlike me on a real account. And yeah, we took one on paper here that did not deliver. Again, it wasn't a plus. I wouldn't take this on a funded or a cash, but yeah, no more trades for me. But again, it's not going to change my bias here. We're, again, not even respecting an hourly fair value gap. We did here, and then we closed below. We tried to turtle soup this, and this was a fake move. And I think this is just going to continue to deliver us down here. I think we'll probably hit these, I don't know, in the next few weeks maybe. But for now, I think these are going to be left as internal highs that won't be swept for a while. I think that we're going to have some downward PA for the next few days, if I had to guess. Again, there's no model here, so I'm not touching anything, but that is what I see. And nicely, one of my swings, C3AI, is moving. I do want 28 on this. Wow, Visa's up 4% on the day. That's pretty good. But yeah, if you guys look at the weekly chart for SMCI, this is a swing that we took. We entered here, and I'm looking for at least this internal buy side to get hit, and then my final TP is going to be at the internal buy side here at 33. So anyways, guys, on NQ, again, I'm not changing my bias here. I do still think this is bearish on the day. I think we're going to dump to the mean threshold of the 4-hour fair value gap, and then probably rebalance this hourly as well. Does not look good for longs here at all. And look at this PA, guys. Look at how disgusting these candles are. Why would you want to be trading this right now? Like, absolutely terrible PA. Now, it doesn't change the fact that I think we're probably bearish, but where is your entry? Where is the model? Where is the stop loss? There's nothing here. You guys should not be trading this. I'm actually so happy because as soon as I say these things, the amount of people in the live goes down, and I think that's because nobody's trading. I think the people are disciplined, or maybe I don't know. Hopefully they're disciplined. Okay, and this looks like we're delivering to the mean threshold now. We should see a bigger push down here. Get ready, guys. And see if we hit it or if it bounces here. Should give it to us. Again, this is a scalp on a paper account, just so you guys can see price moving. And there it is. Now I think we'll move down to this hourly. Yep, 100% course. And again, we should have known that here. But the fact that all these equal highs were here, there was buy side here. This 1 minute inverse was pretty telling, but again, I could never take this because we have equal highs above. But this was a decent short. But again, I couldn't even hold this because look at the equal highs that formed. I would never have held this trade. And I'm being honest with myself. I know how my model works, and I know that I would never hold it. I took this 1 minute inverse. It was an L, right? And then this 1 minute inverse should have delivered us to here. It didn't. It rejected before it. And we had this huge down close candle. It's just all signifying bearishness. And I was calling those should be bearish on the day, but I couldn't short because of these equal highs. Okay, now we're balancing that 1 hour that I was telling you guys about. Yeah, this is going to be a sell day, guys. I already know. If I had to guess to where, I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I think we'll probably go down to, let me see on the 5 minute chart what we have here. We're probably going to go all the way down to this low, which is crazy to say, but yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, and there's no respect if you look at and draw Fibonacci, for example, from the high of the leg to the low. No respect of the 50% level either. This is right here. Look how we just dumped below it, which tells me we're at minimum going to balance this hourly, but I think we're going to go down to this internal low right here. And then probably this sell side right here. Super bearish day. And guys, if this hourly inverses right here, let me delete this. If this hourly fair value gap inverses, we're going down to this low with a high degree of certainty, and then probably this sell side right here, which is actually a set of equal lows, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, Tesla's at 255. Let me look at Tesla quick, guys. Huge dump for Tesla. $2.56. Crazy. SMCI, this is so sad. Thank goodness we're not in this stock. Oh my god. So you guys can watch for a bounce out of this hourly, but again, if this hourly inverses, you can look for a 1 minute setup down to this sell side. But again, there's no respect to this 50% level. So that tells me that with a high degree of certainty, we're at minimum going to bounce the low of the hourly. And then from there, I mean, who knows what will happen, but this is an extremely bearish day. So far there is a reaction out of this hourly. I think we're probably going to go back and retest this internal high now. Especially because we're about to inverse this 1 minute, which we actually didn't inverse it yet. Actually, did we? Yeah, we did. So we should go up to this internal high. Oh, C3AI is back up to 1%. Yeah, this, I'm surprised this name is holding. We do have earnings on December 5th. So that's a ways away. But again, I think that we're going to this internal high, if I had to guess, for SMCI. But it's surprising to me that it's surprising me that it's bullish on a day like today when we have all this crazy stuff going on. But yeah. There's not really much to say here, guys. I think we probably will come up and balance this internal high here because we inverse this 1 minute. But I can't take anything else on the day. Too much manipulation going on. It's too bearish. If this 1 minute inverses, I don't think that's a bad short. Again, we're so low that I would never take this, but again, this is what happens, guys. Not every day is going to be perfect. But yeah. Of course, there's no such thing as a bull. There's only algorithms. Okay, so there's that intraday high. And boom. So from here, I mean, we could easily just reject further. I think what will probably happen is we either reject from this fair value gap or this one. This is also a breaker. High, low, high, lower, low. This is actually should be a bullish breaker, but yeah, I think we'll probably reject from this fair value gap or this one to continue down, but I'm not in the business of trying to get any shorts here. Wow, C3I is pumping for me. Let's go. Finally happy that that one's doing something. Yeah, I love this is pushing. Absolutely love that. So guys, if this 1 minute inverses, I don't think that's a bad short. But yeah, this looks like we're probably gonna go up here. If this 5 minute inverses, you guys can try along up to this internal high. If you really want to try something. That candle closes in 2 minutes, so wait for a close above this 5 minute right here. I actually think that's a great trade, by the way. I think this 5 minute inverse, if we close above, is a fantastic trade up to here at minimum. Then I would probably target this internal high. But my guess is that this is going to hold. I don't think we're going to inverse it. Okay, guys, so watch for the 5 minute here. We have a minute until the close. 5 seconds till the close. Okay, we got it. So maybe wait for a retracement here to here, potentially, and then this would be the long. Stop loss would be a close back below the 5. Might not even give it to us, but I think we're going up here now with a very high degree of certainty. Again, this is a paper trade, guys. I am not trading my live account anymore because I took 2 losses. But for you guys, this is actually a decent trade if you want something for your live accounts. I think this is good. Look for this wick to get hit. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Hopefully it gives us an entry. I don't think it will, but let's see. And take profit about to hit. Wait for it. Also, we're in the 9:50 macro time, guys, by the way, so definitely an expectation for delivery in this macro time. and wait for it. Come on. Bring it up here. Let's go. And boom. There's take profit, guys. So if you're in this 5 minute, you could take profits here. I do think that it's probably likely that we go up to this high now too. But yeah, I do think that this is probably going to go up to here. If I had to say if I said gun to my head, I think it would go here. You guys can see that was, again, I took 2 L's today, but this was a 5 minute that I advised that if you haven't taken losses today, I think this is good for a live account. It did deliver to my target. I do think we're probably going to go up here, but if you haven't taken profits yet, your stop should be at break even. I would not allow this to go against you. Of course, did you take that? Yeah, and thankfully, I mean, even with my 2 losses today, my swing trades right now have covered all the losses I've taken today and far beyond. I think my swing trade profits are like 10x my day trade loss today. Yes, bro, small scalp. Nice. Good stuff. But my loss is bigger. Yeah, if you took this loss here that I took, let's zoom into the one. Where was my loss? I think you took this one with me, didn't you? Or did you take this one? I forget. I think you might have taken this one. This 1 minute inverse up to this internal high. If you missed that, I mean, the loss wasn't huge. It shouldn't have been huge, but I put my stop down here to account for this 1 minute fair value gap. And in this case, it was a little bit bigger. So, yeah, it was this one, right, course? But yeah, if you guys are noticing here, I mean, we have this 5 minute inverse. We inversed the 1. We took out this buy side. And now there's no PD arrays that are holding us down until this and these internal highs. If we look on the 5, I mean, this is technically a bearish order block. But yeah, I mean, I would take some profits here. I would hold a runner up to this high because it's totally allowable for this to be the rejection on the day. But I mean, I would probably leave a runner up to this high and have most of your 75% of your profits taken here. We also have a 5 minute fair value gap that we could potentially reject from. But if we close above this 5, which it looks like we are, we should go up to this internal buy side. Okay, guys, I will be right back. I'm going to get a coffee, and then we will get back to the charts. I want to look at SMCI, and then C3AI is my swing. That's doing really well right now. So I'll be back in like 3 minutes. All right. Let's see if we hit the high. Did we? No, we missed it by a tick. But we did hit... Oh, sorry, guys. I'm looking at the wrong chart again. So we did miss this internal high by 1 tick, but I think we'll still get here because we're not respecting this bearish PD array. And we have this high right here. I think all this is getting swept. But again, if you're not in this trade already, you shouldn't be. Right? You should have been in from way lower, which was right here where I called it out on the 5-minute inverse. Wow, my C3AI is printing. So guys, this is the one I wanted to cover. Woo! So we're at minimum going to 28 on this, in my opinion. That's where I'll take a very tiny partial, and then I'll leave my runners slash, it's going to be like 70% of the position up at this, to this $33.11. Because my entry is down here. So, very nice swing. Also, guys, if you didn't get a chance to... Oh, hold on, never mind. I was going to say, if you didn't get a chance to get into the sold puts, by the way, there's the highs on... not quite. There we go. There's the highs on NQ, so you should be all out of the trade there. But if you want to hold runners, you could potentially leave them up to these 2 sets of equal highs here, which could easily hit, but I'm not going to take the chance there. We do have 8:30 and midnight up here as well, so there's definitely a chance that the market can go up to those 2 sets of liquidity. But because of the nature of today, I'm going to be risk averse, and I would not hold up to these. I would just take full profits here. We also have this 1 minute. So guys, this is that 1 minute that we wanted earlier that never hit. That's okay. That's part of the game, guys. You're not going to win everything, right? Also, guys, if this 5-minute inverse is right here, we should easily go up to these equal highs and this data high. So we have all this liquidity resting up here, 2 sets of equal highs at midnight, 8:30, and a data candle. So look for a 5-minute inverse above. I think this one will maybe give a little bit more trouble to get up, but I do still think it will work. But again, your entry should have been down here, and you should be holding runners to here. That would be my opinion on a optimal trade in this position. Wow, SMCI with a slight recovery. That's interesting. Really insane that it's selling off like this. Okay, so far a nice bullish reaction here. So look for a 5-minute close here, and then maybe look for a 1-minute setup up to these equal highs. That could possibly, we could possibly get that. So something like this, where we come up slightly, get a 1-minute inverse here, close above it, and then you could target all these sets of liquidity. So that's a possibility for sure. But we'd have to see this 5-minute close first, because that's the bias. That's what's holding price down right now. So for market structure to truly shift, we'd have to see a 5-minute inverse. This would be your next target, this internal high, and then runners up to all the equal highs. Checkmate. Trading. I need one good trade, please. Reds a day. Binoche, I called a trade. You weren't in this. You weren't in the stream. This is the A+ setup. I said that I also took a loss today. I took 2 losses on my live account. First time in a long time I've taken 2 losses. But I said if I hadn't have taken those 2 losses, this was the 5-minute inverse that I would have taken. And we took it right here on a paper account. We took our profits at this internal high, but I said that it was very likely to go up to this internal high, and it did. You took that and you're still red? What other losses did you take? How down are you? Like, how much money do you need to get back up to break even? And are you trading micros or minis? Let me know what your situation is, and I'll try and help you. But I want to know 500 in micros. So you're down 500 on micros right now? So I guess what I can tell you, Binoche, is first of all, I don't know how many trades you've taken today, but if you have already taken 2 losses, I personally don't think you should be trading anymore. That's what, like I said, for me, I would say maybe 1 out of 50 trading days that I actually trade, I take 2 losses in a day. Today was one of those days, and I stopped trading. But if you don't really have discipline, first of all, you need to check that out. But if you really need to take a trade, if this 5-minute gets inversed above, you could look for some kind of a 1-minute setup up to these equal highs. There is a lot of liquidity resting here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets hit today. So I'll give you that information. But if you've already taken 2 trades today, I would really, really think about what you're doing. Also, we have this 1-minute. So if I zoom in, so first of all, you want to wait for the 5, obviously. We have this 1-minute that's holding price down. So if we get a 5-minute close above and a 1-minute, I think that will work up to these equal highs. Does that make sense, Binoche? Binoche, how many trades have you taken today? Yeah, then you should be done, Benoj. You shouldn't be taking any more. What's your trading rules? How many trades are you allowed to take before you stop? What is your what is your set of discipline rules? Oh, 2 to 3, huh? You should have a hard trade limit. You shouldn't do a range. But again, I'm not here to tell you how to trade. I'm just telling you I used to be that way and then I learned. Because 2 to 3 ends up turning into 3 to 4, ends up turning into 4 to 5, and then you go in a downward spiral, especially on a day like today where a lot of people are very likely to be on tilt today. But yeah, if you're allowing yourself if you're honest with yourself and you're actually allowing yourself 3 trades, then I would wait for this 5 minute to close above and the 1 minute. If they both close above, you could target this internal high, move your stop to break even when we get here, right? On the 5 minute. And then I would just hold it all the way up to all these equal highs. If your break even on the day ends up working to this set of equal highs, then just take profits here. But if not, I mean, you can try and hold up to 8:30, midnight, and these equal highs, because I do think based on what I'm seeing here that they should hit on the day. So we're about to get a 5 minute close above here. We have 5 seconds left. Okay, so we just got the 5 minute close. Now we have to zoom into the 1 minute, which we're waiting for this to get closed above right here. But again, this is much higher risk than what happened earlier. But if you get the 1 minute close above here, then you could take it long, stop to break even at this high, and then take profits at these two sets of equal highs. Again, I will repeat, this is not nearly as A+ as this trade, but in theory it should work because this is the last PD array that's holding down price until these equal highs. We do have a tiny 1 minute here, and that is why I would move my stop to break even once this internal buy side hits. Does that make sense? Benoj, do you get why this is the last PD array that's technically holding the market down here? Okay, so far, this is supporting price. We're forming another 1 minute order block here. We have all these little tiny order blocks that are, in theory, they should support price. This is like an IO Fed entry that ICT talks about. Accumulation and then just complete distribution. Now, this could be a manipulation to distribute down, but I don't think so. I think this is probably going to go up to this internal buy side and then these equal highs. But again, I wouldn't long this right now. I would wait for a 1 minute close. If we get the 1 minute close first, I would long it. If not, I think you miss out, sadly. But that's what I see. Oh. Nights like this. Oh, oh. Okay, so far no close above just yet on the 1. But once we get the 1 minute close, if you want to be more risk averse, you can wait for a retracement. If not, you can just long at the highs and hope that this internal buy side's going to get hit. Again, the R is not good, but I wouldn't take profits here. I would move your stop to break even immediately after it hits, and just basically you're hoping and praying that you don't get stopped out. That's why the trade is not great. We're also super high in premium of this range. Again, in the grand scheme of this range, we're still in discount, I think. Let me see if we go to the hourly. We take this low. No, we're in premium of this range too, so not optimal, but I do still think it probably works. So this was the 1 minute close. That's where your entry should have been, Binoj. Now your stop would be to break even, and you pray that you don't get stopped out. Sorry guys that I didn't call that out right away, but that was the entry right there. And again, this is I wouldn't say it's risky because we're in premium, right? The premium was here. But you're basically hoping, so yeah, you would have gotten stopped out on the trade. So you guys see how that stopped out? Your stop would have been to break even as soon as you entered at the 1 minute close above here. Again, I wouldn't have taken profits here because the move is not big enough. And then now you can see that we're rejecting from the... So here's another trade, Binoj. If you didn't take that, if we come back and inverse this 1 minute, I don't think that's half bad to these equal highs. But until then, there's no model. Again, this is a tiny fair value gap that's holding down price right now. If we look at the 1 minute, I don't see any bearish PD or bullish PD arrays to get violated to take a short. We do have LRLR here, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I think there's still definitely a decent chance that we take out all this liquidity, because this is, again, midnight, I said, 8:30, equal highs and data highs. But if we are bearish, we will just continue down here. Let me look at the 2 and the 3 and see if there's anything. Nope, nothing. So right now we're testing this 5 minute OB after the 5 minute inverse. So if price is still bullish here, we should see a reaction from this 5 minute order block to continue us up to all these equal highs. So again, if we get a nice reaction here from this 5 minute, which we are right now, and we close above this 1 minute, I think that's a good scalp up to these equal highs. But we need to see a close back above this 1 minute down close candle, right? Because right now we are rejecting from a tiny 1 minute PD array that's bearish. And all these order blocks you see on the 1 minute form the order block on the 5 minute. So we need to see a bullish reaction out of them. And technically order flow is still bullish because we did inverse a bearish PD array, but we did take out internal highs. Therefore, we don't have to be in a buy model still. But order flow still is technically delivering to the upside. So again, guys, if we get a 1 minute close above this tiny fair value gap here, I don't think that's a bad long up to these 2 sets of equal highs. As soon as we hit this internal high, these equal highs, I would move your stop to break even again. And again, the trade is only valid once this 1 minute PD array gets closed above, which I think it will here based on what I'm seeing, but Definitely a high risk setup because we already swept this internal high. But I think that it's still decent. Again, I wouldn't take this personally on a live account, but if you really need something, these equal highs look very likely to get hit. So again, still no close above the 1 minute, so I wouldn't have entered there. If I had to take something, it would be after the 1 minute closes above. Because for now, it's just a liquidity sweep above this high. So far we're rejecting from it. Nights like this when I need you. Na, 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 na. Okay, so this looks decent so far. Hopefully we get a close above this 1 minute candle, making another order block. Okay, so it looks nice so far. Ooh, big rejection there. If this 1 minute fair value gap gets closed below, I think we're going to go down to this internal sell side again. Just a forewarning. But so far it is holding up price. Once it closes below, we could easily dump down to here. Tesla with a beautiful reaction out of the hourly fair value gap, by the way, guys. Okay, so this is a very bearish reaction. If we get a 1 minute close below this fair value gap, I would definitely be out of your longs. Oh, have I been streaming for 2 hours here? So far no close below. So this is technically still bullish. Again, if we get a 1 minute close above these 3 down close candles and above this 1 minute fair value gap, I think that will be a very good scalp to these equal highs. Okay, nice reaction here with this candle. So let's see if we get a close above all these 4 down close candles. That's what we want to see, right? And a close above the 1 minute fair value gap up to equal highs. Now the macro doesn't start until 10:50. That is true, but I still do think that these will eventually get hit today. But let's see if we get it now or if we get it later. And if you guys keep in mind, if you zoom out to the higher time frames, the 5 minute, we do still have this 5 minute inverse and a bounce out of the 5 minute OB. So this technically is still bullish order flow. And again, we are rejecting this 5 minute as well right here. So we really do need to see this close strongly above this up close candle, and then I think we'll go up to the equal highs. And again, we also want to see it close above this 1 minute that price rejected from. Anyone in longs here? Coors, Binoge, did you take the trade in the end? Are you holding for dear life? You didn't take the trade in the end? Not the 5 minute inverse? If we close above this 1 minute, are you going to take it long to scalp to the equal highs? Or is it too high risk? Not worth my risk reward, for sure. Good man. I would pay attention, guys, and we're obviously going to wait. I'll stay on stream until this 1050 macro, but we'll probably see good delivery up, at least in this macro. So maybe we'll just chop around until the macro time, and then we'll probably see a good delivery up to these equal highs afterwards. And who knows, maybe we'll get a setup, but I don't think so. I think it'll probably just kind of like chop around until this, and then we'll just get a big push candle up. Guys, and I cannot wait until I move out of Los Angeles. It's going to happen soon, either to Texas or Florida. That's going to be where my home state is. Because the times, like when I wake up at 5:30 a.m., first of all, I would say that I'm like an extroverted introvert. Like I can go weeks, months without talking to a single soul if I have to. And like when it's like 5:30 in the morning and I have to keep quiet because there's people sleeping in my house. Like this house is the walls are too thin. And when I move to Texas or Florida, I'll have a private office that'll be on the other side of the house, most likely. And it'll be later in the day. I'm not going to be like half awake at 5:30 a.m. Like right now, I feel good. Like I feel like I'm ready to talk to people. I have energy, but at 5:30 a.m., I'd rather just sit and think to myself. So obviously my energy is not as high in the mornings. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot easier to wake up and a lot easier to take trades live when it's 7:30 a.m., not 5:30 a.m. Because my best setups form at 8:30. Again, this was a very sad day. Again, I was kind of iffy on this 1 minute. But I took it anyways. And again, the fact that we closed below it immediately afterwards told me I should have been out of the trade. I held it, and I got stopped out on this candle right here. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So guys, here is something that I will tell you right now. If this forms a nice, obvious 1 minute bearish fair value gap, and we close above it, this will be a very nice setup up to these equal highs. I would take this on a live account if I had another trade available today. Oh, we're not even getting it. So on the 32nd, this actually might be another 1 minute setup. On the 32nd, this might be a fair value gap setup. But again, I don't have the 30-second chart, so I can't see it. But knowing how price behaves, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this is probably a 30-second long. And now we should get a close above the 5, and then we would target these equal highs. when she was just a girl. Do 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 do. Oh, so if you're in the 30-second, I'm sure this was just like an obvious internal high that you move your stop to break even at. So far that is not a good sign. Did we leave equal highs here? We did not. So again, they're making this very difficult for longs, though I do still think it works. Eventually, we will need to see an A+ 1 minute setup to take anything, which I do not see right now. So far, this was a 30-second IFEG. It is still holding. I don't know if it is. Again, we don't take trades based on that 30-second. But if we get a 1 minute, a strong close above these 4 down close candles, and it closes above the 5 and the 1, I think that'll be a good scalp up to equal highs. We did just take out all these internal highs right here on this sweep. So if this just completely rejects here, we'll probably get the setup later. But if this holds a body above these wicks here, this should take us higher. But again, we're seeing a rejection so far. We might even get a sweep down into the 5 from here and then get the long and out in the macro time. So a lot of different possibilities here. So far we swept all this liquidity, right? We got a bullish reaction out of the 5. So this could be what takes us higher. Again, there's no model yet. Once we get a close above this 5 minute, hopefully at 7:45, which is 3 minutes away, then we could take a long scalp up to these equal highs. Again, this will be paper for me because of my situation today with trading. But if you are on a live account, I mean, if you were looking to scalp like a 1-to-1 from here, I don't think that's half bad. But again, we need to see a close above this body, this candle's wick. Nights like this when I need you. No, 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 no. Do you guys like my singing, by the way? I've been working really hard to work on my pitch. I know somebody likes it. We are very close to the macro, 7 minutes away. So maybe we get the move right at the macro time. Maybe we get it right before, but I expect it to happen relatively soon. We have all this low resistance liquidity forming as well. So keep that in mind. How's the 5-minute looking? Yeah, so the 5-minute, we keep trading down into the 5-minute fair value gap that was holding down price. So this is like kind of like that resistance that now acts as support to continue us higher. By the way, I appreciate you guys liking the stream. There's only a few people in here and there's already 4 likes, so I really appreciate that, guys. It helps with the algos. So none of you are dead to me today because you all like this stream. All right, so nice bullish candle here so far. If we get a body close that's big, I mean, that's also a good sign, but we don't want to see all these wicks like we're seeing right now. But I will let you guys know if I see something A+++, ideally in the macro. Ugh. So far, no equal highs forming here. We did take out all this liquidity. So maybe if you get a nice bearish candle into the 5-minute and then a nice 1-minute inverse, that could be a good long start. And in the macro time, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Okay, so we do have a tiny potential 1-minute forming here. Again, not optimal. In fact, I'm just going to delete it because it's really not great. But if we sweep these lows, possibly in this low, and then we form it and close above it, that could be a good long. Again, not A+, but let's say we get a big sweep down here and then we close above it. You could try that as a... So you'd hold it up to these equal highs. And then your stop would be very small, but I would keep it like somewhat big, like maybe here, just in case. But it would be like a 6.44 to 1 RR trade, which is not terrible. So again, there's not really a sweep of liquidity here, so keep that in mind, but okay, there's the sweep of liquidity. So if we get like a very strong bullish reaction at the start of the macro, I don't think that's half bad here, if you take it right here. How's Boeing doing? Really quick before the macro starts. This is also something that I am swinging long. Why does it keep showing the watermark? I don't want the watermark on my screen. Also, not bad today on Boeing. That's good. Okay, guys, so the macro's about to start. If we see a big green candle here, I don't think that's a half bad long. As long as we close above the body of this 1 minute. Again, this is tiny, so I would never take this on a funded account or a live account. But again, if you're looking for something and you have like an eval you're trying to pass, I think this is not a bad setup up to these 2 sets of equal highs. Also, let's see if maybe a 2-minute IFVG formed. So if we get a 2-minute close above these two sets of 2-minute bearish fair value gaps, that's not bad to me. Is it forming a 3-minute? Ooh, and we have a 3-minute that just formed. Potentially. We're waiting until we have 3 more minutes until this. So hopefully we get this to hold. If we get a 3-minute close above this after a 3-minute forms, that would be an A+ setup that I would take on a live account. So hopefully we hold this level for the next 2 or 3 minutes. This looks really good, guys. And if we hold this 5-minute as well at the same time, I mean, we are allowed to trade back into this maybe 3-minute fair value gap, but ideally I would like to see this hold. So we got another basically 1.5 minutes until this 3-minute fair value gap will form. Okay, 1 minute left, guys. Hopefully this holds in this area. And it'll be perfect because it'll be starting right as the macro starts. So we'll get a 3-minute IFVG that forms right at the 11:50 macro, or the 11:10 macro. 10:50 macro, sorry. Yeah, so let's see if we get this to hold. I think it will, just based on what I'm seeing. And this is technically a bullish breaker. And it's a huge bullish breaker, but it is a breaker. And we have this order block. So let's see. So Benoj, if you're still in here, I think this 3-minute is A+ if we get it. Guys, A+, in my opinion, this would be a funded trade if it's in the macro. We get a bullish reaction out of maybe this 3-minute fair value gap right here. Close above the 3 right there. I would take it long all the way up to both of these sets of equal highs. Okay, so then the macro just begun, and we do have this 3-minute now that has officially formed. Okay, guys, I'll be right back, but keep this 3-minute in the back of your minds. Okay, so far we are technically holding this 3 and this hourly. I'd want to see a reaction from this area. If not, that's not a great sign, but again, the trade is only valid if we close back above this 3-minute fair value gap. I do also like this 1 minute if you want something with a little bit lower risk to enter before. If we inverse this 1, we should at least run back up into the 3, and in that case, you would just hold it and move your stops to break even once this inverses. Okay, so good reaction so far. So I will take this on paper to show you guys. It would be a market entry after a 1 minute close above here. So I do like this, guys. I would take this on a live account. And then your stop would be to break even immediately after this high gets hit. Good reaction so far in the macro, but we want to see a close above this on the 1. So your entry would be somewhere around here. Again, first take profit would be up here. Stop loss would be over here. So Binoge, if you're still in here, I don't know if you are, but if you get this 1 minute close, I don't think this is a bad setup on a live account. Again, as long as we get it. I don't know if we will, but we want to wait for the 1 minute inverse. So the round of puts that I sold yesterday in the community, in the Discord, or they're already up like 35%. So if anybody took those, congrats. Obviously, I'm holding them personally. You guys can do what you want with it, but I think those should be up close to 100% in the next few days. The trade closes the day after the election, so November 8th. So keep that in mind. If you guys are worried about volatility, I would try and close those before the election starts, which is on, before the election happens, which is on the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. 7 days away. That's crazy. Okay, guys, so hopefully we get something in this macro. We're almost halfway through the macro already. So we want a big, hopefully a 1 minute close candle. But 1 or 2 candles here to close above, and then we would take it all the way up to the equal highs. Let's look at the 2 quick and see if there's anything more obvious. So we also have a 2 minute fair value gap here that formed. You could wait for the 2. I think waiting for the 1 is totally okay as well. Either one should work. Okay, guys, so wait for the 1 minute close. Ideally the 2 minute as well, but I'm just going to wait for the 1. Hopefully it doesn't hit this internal high before, otherwise we're kind of screwed. Okay, so no close above on the 1 minute yet. Oh, there we go, it did close, so I'm in it. And a stop again will be a close back below this 1 minute IFEG. Did we close above on the 2 as well? Not yet. So the 2 closes in a few seconds. Sorry, not in a few seconds, in about 30 seconds. So hopefully we get the 2 as well. And again, guys, once this internal high gets hit, I will move the stop to break even. So I don't know if we're going to get the 2 minute close here, but let's see. Okay, guys, I might have to close this trade out if we get a 1 minute close back below here. Okay, so no 1 minute close yet, back below. So far we're moving higher from this 1 minute right? So we need to see this act as support here. And hopefully form a 1 minute OB as well. So guys, if we get a 2 minute close above here as well, I think that would be great for a live account. Even though the 3 hasn't closed yet, I still think this is a good trade. I mean, if you really want to be risk averse, you can wait for the 3, but I don't know if that's going to give you the best entry. I think the 2 is acceptable here. Just wait for the 2 minute close above, and then I would take this on a funded account. And again, guys, if we get a 1 minute close here below, I will have to cut the trade. All right, I'm out. So that was an L. That was an L. I mean, and technically the trade, I mean, it is invalid, but this 1 minute is holding up price. So if you really wanted to, you could wait for a close below this 1 minute to stop out the trade. In fact, that's probably was the better option, but I just am more risk averse. Just because of the nature of today, you have to be careful. And we just closed, so we have this tiny 1 minute here that could potentially be what holds the price up, but not in my risk profile to hold all the way down here when we got a 1 minute close below the IFEG. So if we get a bullish reaction from this 1 minute and we close above the 2, I'll try it again. So if we get a 2 minute close above here, I will try this long again. How's Riot doing right now? Riot's at 1087. Okay, guys, this looks like it can be good with a 2 minute order block as well. So wait for the 2 minute close, which is in less than a minute. Hopefully we get it on this candle. Nothing yet. Okay, guys, so we gotta wait for another 2 minute here because we never got to close above the fair value gap. And guys, this is the amazing part about trading is that you can sit and nothing will happen until it does. Like they'll just price action will go from just shitty and boring to all of a sudden one candle changes the whole thing. So you just have to be patient and wait for that. So if you really want to be conservative here, you can wait for the 3 minute to close above, which is right here, and then move your stop to break even immediately once we hit this 3 minute. But I think waiting for the 2 minute is feasible here because if we close up here, we should be forming this order block and that should drive price at minimum back up to this 3 minute fair value gap. Okay guys, I'll be right back. All right, no close above yet, guys. So no trade. I just want to see something quick. Yeah, so on the hourly, we did close. Again, we have the support from this hourly fair value gap. I would like to see price drive higher here. I do still think that it's possible, especially with these nice wicks that are forming. But again, wait for the 2 minute close above. Just wait. Be patient. I don't also like that we're just about to finish a macro time. So the odds of this trade doing well lessen because of that. But on an eval or a paper account, I will take it for the fun of it. If I was not in paper or eval, I would wait until this 3 minute closes in this scenario. Because lunchtime is not optimal. Now, technically, lunchtime really isn't until noon, but after this 11:10 macro, I think price tends to really chop around. So just a forewarning. But I do like this structure that we're in too. Look at this BPR that formed. So this area should be where the market is supported to go higher. Also, we have this LRLR that's forming here. So again, on eval, I would take here. On a funded account, I would wait for the 3 minute to close above, and then I would take the long up to the equal highs. So there's two different scenarios here. Not scenarios, but two different choices I would make depending on the account that I have. Do you guys understand the difference? This is higher risk. Now, it's not higher risk in the sense that we're lower, but the true way that the market would reveal to me that we're back in bullish PA is if this 3 minute inverses, because it's the last PA rate that's holding down price below these until these equal highs hit. And then I would move my stop to break even, of course, once these internal highs hit, and then once we traded back into this 5 minute, and then I would just hold. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this does not look good for longs, but again, we're not in a long, so we don't have to worry about that. Another lower risk potential 1 minute is forming here. But there's two, so technically it would be this high. This is that 3 minute IFEG. So what sometimes does happen too, guys, is we come back down into the original IFEG that formed on the 5. Right here, and then we'll react out of there. So that's also possible. But I would expect if we're bullish here, which I still think we probably are, that the reaction will happen somewhere in this area. Okay, nice reaction so far on the 1 minute. Okay, so we do have the 1 minute fair value gap that formed. So ideally, I mean, we'd like to see it trade into this 5 minute fair value gap / IFEG. And then see a long that forms from there. And then that will also have been taken out, these two sets of liquidity here. We did take out this one, but we still haven't taken out this one. So be patient here, guys, but I think a long will form. Okay, guys, so again, if you're just tuning in, this IFVG should act as support, and I'm expecting, we have to be patient obviously, but I'm expecting a long to form here. Inversing this potential 1, and then going all the way back up to these equal highs and this data high buy side. This 2-minute fair value gap would be the long. Enter when we close above it. Stop loss is a 2-minute close back below. Take profit will be at both of these sets of equal highs, which gives you almost a 7-to-1 RR trade here. We just traded into this 2-minute. So again, we want to see a reaction strong from here, or maybe from the top of this 5-minute IFEG. We could potentially trade back down into it. A lot of the times algorithms will drive price down to this IFEG, and then it'll move stops. Then it will go long, and it's taking out all the stops that are here that have been long. So expect a reaction from here, somewhere in this fair value gap. I've seen it time and time again. But again, if we completely disrespect it, then we'll definitely, I would say we'd probably trade back down to the lows, but let's see what we get here, right? So again, where am I expecting a reaction from here? This 5-minute IFEG and this 5-minute fair value gap. Somewhere where these two cross in this general area, I'm expecting to see the bounce. Okay, so pretty bullish reaction so far. It didn't quite get to the fair value gap, but it's totally permissible for this to have been the low, this fair value gap balancing. So again, if we get a 2-minute close above here, I will take this long. Okay, very nice reaction so far. If we get a close above the 2, that is the entry for the trade. So again, guys, still waiting for the close above the 2. If we get a close above this 2-minute, I think this is an A+ long setup. Stop to break even at this internal high and then hold it all the way up to these equal highs. I think it's a great setup. We're reacting from a bullish PD array, a 5-minute IFEG. We didn't quite touch it, but we came close. That's totally fine to me. And then from there, we would look for the long up to these equal highs. So again, be very patient, but wait for the 2-minute close above this fair value gap. This is the PD array that's currently holding down price. It's a bearish PD array, bearish fair value gap. Close above, stop to break even at this high, hold all the way up to these equal highs. I think that's a great trade. If you want to take partials along the way, maybe at this internal high, you're welcome to. But if we break this, I fully expect market structure to shift back to the upside. But again, the trade is not valid until this 2-minute fair value gap gets closed above. I don't think there's a 3. No, there is not. There's no 4. There's no 5. So it looks pretty good so far. We have 2 minutes until this candle closes. Who's taking this long with me? Type 1 in the chat. Or type something in the chat. Say yes if you're taking this long, if the 2-minute closes above. All right, Bob's taking it. Vinoj is taking it. All right, that looks so good. Hopefully we get this close. We have another minute and something. So Vinoj, I think this trade will get you, it'll at least be a free trade, in my opinion, up to this equal high. I mean, up to this internal high. But again, we have to wait for the 2-minute close above, and we still have another minute, a little bit less than a minute until the close. So just be aware. So guys, still no close above. 30 seconds until this 2-minute candle closes. If it doesn't happen on this candle, we'll have to wait until the next. So far, a rejection. So far, guys, a rejection from this PD array. So what can possibly happen here too is maybe we finally do go down and touch the 5-minute and then we get it. We'll have to see what happens here. Hopefully this doesn't go without us, guys. We have 2 minutes until this candle closes. So if I'm not mistaken, also the 1 did not close above. It was just right below it. So we're also potentially forming a 1-minute OB. We also have this 1-minute fair value gap that's holding down price here, but if the 2-minute closes above, I'm totally fine with taking it. Wow, big push there. Damn. So if you guys really don't want to miss this trade, you could probably take it here when the 1-minute closes above and we have a 1-minute OB. But unfortunately, I'm going to be waiting for the 2. I want to be sure. So we did just form a 1-minute order block. If you guys want to enter now, you can with your stop below the mean threshold of the order block. Again, I am waiting for the 2. We got about 45 seconds left until the 2-minute closes. But so far, an excellent reaction. If this 1-minute closes above 2, you guys can try it here, but it's frustrating when it just goes without you, but again, we still haven't gotten the 2-minute close. Okay, 10 seconds left, guys. Okay, I'm in here. Stop to break even when we hit this high, guys. Again, stop to break even when this internal high gets hit. I didn't get the best fill, but again, because of my entry too, I'd rather just move my stop to break even when the internal high gets hit in case we reject from it. And we did close above the 1 minute too, which I like to see. It tells me that bearish PDRAs are being violated, so very likely to go up. Okay, so far good reaction, but we want to see the high get swept. And I'll tell you when I move my stop to break even here. Obviously, you'll see it on the screen. Not yet. Continuing to hold this here. All right, my stop is now at break even, guys. It's a free trade. If you guys want to take a partial, you can here at this internal high or any of these ones if you really want to. Again, my fill was not the greatest, so I might get stopped out on the trade. We'll see. I'm going to take one partial right here. So let me just change this quick. So one of my partials is going to get taken at the bottom of this 3-minute fair value gap. And my second take profit is going to be here at these highs. So these equal highs will be where my second take profit is. So up 770 on this trade. Benoj, are you in this, bro? Tell me you took this one. I know you said you did, but did you guys take it? Who's in this trade with me? So again, first partial, why is it here at this fair value gap? Because this is holding down price right now. So if we're not fully bullish, then we should reject from this 3. So I'd rather take a partial to be safe. Yeah, of course, Benoj. I'm glad you're in this, bro. And I hope you guys learn. If you guys don't take IFVG setups, like take advantage of learning how the market works. And notice how I don't just take any fair value gap. I know which ones are going to be most optimal. So, and I don't just use it because of the IFVG. I also know that we're bouncing from a optimal trade entry. If you draw Fibonacci's here, I've done it so many times I don't need to anymore. But this is like a 0.06 Fibonacci entry or whatever. Bouncing from a 5-minute, bouncing from a bullish PD array, inversing a 2-minute, unbalanced PD array here, unbalanced PD array here, equal highs. So there's just too many confluences not to try along there. Now, if you guys want, you can take a partial here, but I think at minimum we're going to hit this 3-minute fair value gap with a very high degree of certainty. If you've got a bad fill like me, I mean, you could try taking a partial here just so you lock in some profits. But I think at minimum we're going here, which is why I have my first take profit there. And boom. Okay, so first take profit hit. This is now one contract, and then I'm going to move. So we have all this liquidity here, guys, right? We have equal highs up here, 2 sets of them. We have 8:30, we have midnight. All of these areas are very likely to get hit. Now, if we're bearish on the day, we're going to reject from this 3, but I don't think we will. And especially if we close above this 5-minute that you guys see right here, we'll take out all this liquidity and then at least target this first set of equal highs. What a trade. This is crazy. Bob, you're welcome, bro. You are welcome, sir. And you guys see, because I have conviction of this trade, I know that we're very likely to hit these equal highs. So I'm comfortable, again, taking profits I'm taking a partial at an obvious area of liquidity. And now I know I've taken half my profits. My trade is much less risky. I have a lot less anxiety in the trade because I know that I've taken some partials. There's so many different things going on in my mind when I'm looking at this. So I hope you guys are learning. So now, guys, what I will do, again, we did inverse this 3, so this should bring us higher, but I want to look at the 1 and see what's going on. So we want to see bullish PD arrays and order blocks be respected on the 1 minute, right? That's what we're going to use now to confirm that our trade is still working optimally. So here, we're still bouncing from this 1 minute fair value gap and this order block, right? So I have no reason to be worried about this trade yet. But once we close below this 1 minute fair value gap, for example, I'd be a little bit more worried. Again, my stop is at break even, but we'd want to see this. This is a 1 minute breaker, right? A 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 3 minute breaker. What is a breaker block? Low, high, lower, low. Everybody that was long from here got stopped out. That's what they call it, a breaker. It's like breaking people's hearts. Hope you guys remember that. All this area should act as support for price. We should not go below these sets of down close candles, specifically this 1 minute red candle. We shouldn't go below it. So I know that my trade will basically fail if this 1 minute order block / breaker block gets closed below. And so far, we're reacting bullishly from this 1 minute OB after inversing a 3. We just took out another high here. We have all this low resistance liquidity. We have equal highs. So much confluence. So this is when longs make sense, guys. You can hear in my voice that there's so many different things that are likely to happen to take us long. Again, it doesn't have to happen, but the odds are so much higher when we have all these confluences. And I've taken half my trade off, so I don't have all that anxiety. I've reduced my risk. I've taken some profits, and now it's just fun. You get to watch it, you get to read price, and you get to see what bullish order flow looks like. And when bullish order flow may change, at which point I might even have to close the trade, for a little bit of profits. But for now, we're just holding, and we're just going to let it run. So when they say know when to let your winners run, this is what I'm talking about. There's so much confluence for longs here that I'm willing to let half of my position run higher because I know it's very likely to hit. Whoops. Guys, did you know one of my friends just sent me a text? You can bet on Robinhood right now on the presidential election. So it's not just on Polymarket and all these things anymore. Okay, guys. So we should not see a close below this 1 minute candle right here. This is the top of the breaker block. And again, my stop is below that, but we should not see a close back below it if we are going to continue bullishness here. This is also an order block right here, right? These 3 down or whatever candles on the 3 minute, 5 minute. There's a few candles here, but again, it could easily come down and stop me out and then go higher, but I'm okay with it because I've taken my partials, right? And we're just going to let the trade run. If we get stopped, we get stopped. Watch, if we're gonna get stopped here, it'll probably be by like a tick, and then the market will move higher and inverse this 1 minute. If you haven't taken a trade yet and you want something, if this 1 minute inverses, I think that's a great long trade. Okay, so we got stopped out of the second half of the trade, which is fine. It is what it is. Totally feasible that we come down here and then we inverse this one, in which case, I mean, you could try another long. I'm not going to, but definitely a place where the market is likely to bounce is right here, somewhere right here. So guys, that's part of the game, right? You're not going to win every single time. We did win, and we got stopped on the second half at break even. So that's going to happen, and you have to be willing to accept that and not get your emotions all tied up.